Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome. This edition of the Halcyon Show. My name's Lorne. How the hell are you doing? Day, man. You know how my day kicked off today? I was walking to work on one of the main roads in Northampton, and I hear a thud, and it's a guy on one of those three-wheeled sort of mobility scooters having collided with a VW Golf, and the guy's on sort of his hands, like, trying to stand up, and the woman's in the car, like, crying, and it's just... Today's not going to be an easy day. It's all the more awkward, you know, when you sort of go and help, and then they're still not sorted the situation out by the end of it. Like, no one's apologizing to anyone, and both of them are just staring daggers at each other, and you realize, I think we're going to leave this situation now that I've made sure everyone's alive. So, but anyways, it was all up there, all uphill from there. So you'll forgive my somewhat macabre demeanor this afternoon. Yeah, it's just been a weird one, man. So I scheduled this yesterday when I was in a slightly better mood. So if my energy and enthusiasm is not matched by the posts that I made up until this point, I apologize, and it's only because my day today is so fucking depressing. Also noticed that I've got a really weird sticky out bit at the back of my hair, so I'll have to remember to cut my hair later, because otherwise that'll piss me off. How is your day? How are you doing? How are you keeping? Are you well? Those are all more important questions to me, but of course you're not here for idle chit chat. You're here to see me sip out of a pretentiously small cup. This is my espresso cup. I have maybe 2 or 3 of these a day. That's a double espresso right there. I have, you know, I might have an addiction problem with it. My defense is really good. That's in my defense, though. Anyways, we're here because Premier Battles episode 5 of Where Winning Matters aired on Sunday. Me and Crash did sort of our initial takes on Monday. We were also joined by Kick Nelly, who has actually prompted something that I want to talk about in this episode. But I'll do the reactions first, because that's what you want to see, I presume. And then at the end of the episode, there's a couple of things that I want to touch on, just because I haven't really spoken about some of these things as the tournament's progressed. And I do want to say them before we get too far along in the process that I think it becomes somewhat benign. The other thing I'll say, even though no one's watching as I'm recording this now, and I've put it in the comment section of the thingy-bob, if anyone wants to hop on and have your say live, by all means, hit me up. I have Zoom call running at the moment, so if you want to hop on, have your say, I can switch screens and we can have a conversation about whatever it is that you want to have a conversation about. But for now, let's switch to the reaction page, and let me also pull my notes. There we are, so that I can have something to refer to as we're watching. And let's start. We'll start with my notes on the first battle, which is Pedro versus Deburke. Let's have a look. Pedro, a pleasant surprise and an interesting wrinkle to the tournament, and poses a question of vets and could they be utilised more. I'll touch on that as one of my points at the end of the show. And then Deburke, the surprise of the show, adapted and met the challenge of giving an entertaining battle with almost no prep. What can he do next? And then we've got notes on the battle itself, but we'll come to those as and when we go. So, let's go.
Premier Battles, this is Where Winning Matters tournament, and we're jumping straight into it. On the left-hand side, introduce yourself.
Yo, Deburke, 30 minutes prep, let's go.
And on the right-hand side,
Pedro, 30 seconds prep, let's go.
Tell him, mate, tell him.
Yo, I de-pip your apple.
Yep.
Yo, the only reason your opponent didn't turn up because you're too shit to battle. Yo.
That got people in the comment section of the video on Prem's live stream. I'll de-pip your apple. Let that sink in for a second. That's how he kicks off. That's how he kicks off this battle. I'll de-pip your apple.
And you try and act like you're not even very gay. If he did turn up, he would have bodied you anyway. Throw a drop from a lemonade, you'll get bodied on any day. Yo, your shoes are very gay. Every day, you'll fucking escalate. Yo, you can't even preparate. Yo, bro, yo, you act like, yo.
The only battler in the world, in the UK certainly, that can get away with, you don't even preparate. Hamill, I owe Hamill an apology. Hamill, I take back everything I ever said about profiterole. Preparate. I just need that to sink in for a second. Preparate. Anyways, because this is the other problem as well. If I pause it, we're going to miss like 30 lines because Pedro just goes and goes and goes. Preparate.
You act like you're Irish. You don't even have an Irish accent. I might just stab him. Yo, my wife will clap him. I'll go with a knife and jack him. Yo, bruv, he's got the worst Irish accent that I've ever seen in my life. Yo, see me with a knife, banging him up on the side of the high street on a vibe. Yo, you've had 30 days to prep for this. I've had 2 seconds. I go and I move weapons. Yo, my crew's presence will leave you with a new essence. An essence of smell. You be dead up in hell. Yo, let's go. Yo, you're an anti-sexual. I'll go and I'll bang your head with tools. Yo, you have no bars. I put crowbars to your head. I remove your shed. Yo, you're fucking, yo, you ain't gruesome like Ped. Yo, he's looking in his head for bars he had for this other bear. Who is the other bear? Nobody's mother cares. I don't care. I'll fly man down some other stairs. Yo, I'm a nutter bear. Go and spit your fucking there.
I'll remove your garden shed. So, for my non-battle rap viewers, Pedro. How do you sum up Pedro? Pedro, he is a stream of consciousness personified. He just says things and it gets people. And I think the thing about Pedro that makes him particularly beloved within battle rap is, and you saw it on the faces of everyone who's a battler in that room, he just says things, but he has this unbelievable ability just to be able to roll. He never... I think the only time I've ever seen him struggle to get momentum back up is, again, in the battle against Marlowe. He goes 1, 2, 3, 5, 5 once I caught a fish alive. And I think he's only doing that just because he's... I really don't know, but every other time, like, he'll just bust. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just... He just gets to it, you know what I mean? And my note for this, as I was saying to Crash yesterday, is almost pure freestyle. Madness. Because it's fucking insanity. Anyways, second round on Deburke. Let's go.
Yo, I've had 3 different opponents drop out of this battle. It's kind of frustrating. But Pedro just said a whole bunch of random shit to me, so I've finally made it. Because I was supposed to battle Bobby Rex. I was writing bombs, every rap was good. Was gonna surprise you all, the scrap was tough. Then Briggz hit me up with a surprising call, like, yeah, that match is good, but how about battling someone who's been around for twice as long, and he's half as good? I said, fool, sign me up. Sign me up, I said. No, because it's Pedro, the man's a vet. I pocket checked him and found a bag of ket.
Yes, yeah.
He started battling in 2009, been around incredibly long, and in every individual era, he has never belonged. I watched all of his battles and dissected every song. They say if you do something for 10,000 hours, you'll master it. I guess they were wrong, because never established, incredibly average, only battler who has to give himself a veteran status, because ever since he came in the game, he's been terrible at this, but he's so vain that he takes every shot like a heroin addict. But not 15 years in battle rap, that's a true accomplishment. All jokes aside, I think the dude's astonishing. A don't flop veteran. You've truly conquered this, so please tell me everything you did to get here, so I can do the opposite. Time.
Yo, he said, yo.
Stop. I did. That made me laugh in the broadcast. They didn't even, like, because it's Pedro, they didn't cut the broadcast and like segment it with the graphic or whatever. They just let him go. As far as Deburke's first round is concerned, why is that there? Hang on, can you even see that? No, good. So, Deburke's first round. Now, it was mentioned, I think, in the studio segment, and in fact, even by Deburke himself. No, it was gassed in my comment section. He only had a very brief amount of time to prep, and he adapted the material from another battler into that battle. And with the exception of one minor, very brief, it's not a stumble, but it's certainly a break where he's clearly. And I think one of the things that I think, if it was just an indictment on this battle, fair enough, because both of them are under very unique circumstances to perform here. Probably just trying to remember his stuff, but the staring at the ground thing. But it still commands a decent amount of stage presence. I just don't think you can praise him enough. Like, honestly, this is a really impressive first round from Deburke considering the circumstances. But yeah, that's my note for the second round. Okay, well, off you go, Pedro.
He said, do everything I did to get here.
Yep.
Like Mike Tyson, you get bit in the ear. Yo, I think that you're quick.
Right, stop. Right. I get it, he's freestyle. Mike Tyson didn't get bit in the ear. Evander Holyfield got bit in the ear by Mike Tyson. I get the reference, like people remember Tyson biting, so therefore, but, and I know it's freestyle, and I know it's a fucking no notice, but like you get bit in the ear like Tyson bit someone, he didn't get bitten in the ear. Anyways, but it is Pedro, so, and that's Pedro's superpower. He's kind of absolved from anything because anything that comes out of his mouth is just, well, it's Pedro. So anyways,
15 years in battle rap, that's a true accomplishment. All jokes aside, I think the dude's astonishing.
this is why I
Don't
rewound
flaunt
too
veteran.
far,
You
because
truly
Pedro didn't
conquered
waste
this,
a
so please
fucking
tell me
moment jumping
everything you
in.
did to
So
get here, so I can do the opposite. Time.
right, see that there.
Yo. He said, do everything I did to get here. Like Mike Tyson, you get bit in the ear. Yo, I think that you're queer. Your sister is here. I'll be banging her up and I fucking shit.
So right, stop. This is what I'm saying. Like Bobby's smiling, Seven Waves smiling, Kick Nelly's smiling, Crow's smiling. Even Hulk, with a cup of either tea or coffee, is grinning from ear to ear. Stroh's even managed to smirk. The battlers in the audience, man, they just fucking love Pedro because he's mad. He's mad.
In a spear. Yo, I put my shit in her ear like I'm an MMA dude. You don't want to see I'll fucking MMA you. Yo, I have never heard of you. I'll burn a burger too. I'll murder you. I'll fucking decurb you. Yo, so listen, you come in with all them bars for them, man. That didn't ever sounded like they were for Ped, fam. I'm like a red back with a left hand that will leave you in West Ham. How are you gonna spit to me when I'm like fucking red, man? Like, I'm better than you could ever be. Essentially, you get buried under Wembley Stadium with a centipede. Like, why are you trying to act like I don't live the mad life? You have white on your jacket. I will stab guys. White on your jacket. You're slightly this. I'm not gonna say that because I don't want to. Yo.
How? Sorry,
like
I've got to pause it. I've got to pause it. And now you've seen the top bit, so I've got to be careful with that. How bad? Seriously, go away. Whatever you are, go away. Stupid. Seriously, go away. I'm not messing. Go, but fucking thing. Right, I'll have to fucking figure that out in a second. That's really annoying me now. Sorry, I need to get rid of it. Go away. Thank you. Right, so question: how bad does a line have to be that Pedro self-censors in the middle of a freestyle? How heinous must that fucking line have been that he knew that the second he drops it, it's like, it's not even worth saying, it's gonna get edited or censored out. I might as well just catch myself now. I don't know about you. I really want to know what it was. I want to know what it was. I know it's going to be terrible. I know it's going to make me feel sad as a person. But it's battle rap, and I kind of have to know. I just need to know. Anyways, first time in the tournament, someone self-censored. Jesus.
I'm not going to say that because I don't want to. Yo.
Unbelievable.
Don't act like I ain't violent. I'll back it. I've done this thing for free because I'm here and I'm showing up. Your opponent did show up because you're fucking grown up and you're the only fuck. Yo, you're an OnlyFans, but you're only slut. Yo, get my toes sucked and you get fucked up in your fucking fuck you.
And there you go. So, yeah, my notes, pure freestyle, insanity, self-censored at one point. I think it's worth noting about Pedro is, like, he had a reputation back in the day for the shirt tearing and the aggressive stance and slapping hats and all the rest of it. I think that is the difference of him versus a lot of modern battlers, is that, look, I get that none of those things were cool, but it did give him a sense of, like, what the fuck is he gonna do? Like, that he's a fucking madman. Like, it added to the sense of drama, and I think part of the reason that battle rap doesn't quite have the same sting at the moment isn't necessarily because I want to see guys get their shirts ripped or their hats slapped off or anything, but I miss, like, Pedro's unabashedly Pedro, warts and all, man. Like, there's aspects to his performing style and his demeanor within a battle rap that obviously are undesirable inherently, but they're so massively offset by his upsides and the fact that he's just him and no one else is like him, that it's that trade-off that's always worth it because you've got someone that you can market and push. And I think a lot of battlers at the moment have this notion that being disliked or some aspects of their style get clowned on for various reasons, that they must avoid those things at all costs, but it means that they then end up in this weird no man's land of being still technically very proficient, but just never feeling like a threat. And that's something that I'd want to see him work on. But anyways, it's the second round on Deburke. Let's go.
When Pedro's going for A to B, he takes the strangest route. Not because it's the cheapest option, just because he's able to. He battled a GTX, disaster booked him. Shit was a clash. He went to Heathrow with 6 different spliffs in his bag. The fucking customs came up to him, took his weed, it's too strange, and he looked at them with the shocked fucking Pikachu face, like, bro. And I'm not trying to be condescending, you're not someone I look down upon, but bringing drugs to Heathrow Airport is generally something that's frowned upon. But he just loves unnecessary, complicated travel. He does it the whole season. He traveled here today on horseback for absolutely no reason. He loves unnecessary, weird travel. It's mad rare. He loves the road less traveled because it's easier to smoke crack there. Yo, I was supposed to battle Tongue Twister. Tongue Twister? Who the fuck? He didn't show up, so fuck him. Yo, Tongue Twister, Graza. I was even supposed to speak to Bobby, but at this stage, Briggz, he's just making up names like Geechee Gotti. Fuck it, time.
There you go.
Yo, Geechee Gotti.
And again, not even a break in the proceedings. So, 2 genuine laughs. And 2 things that I like about the composition of that is that it was simple enough, based around a through line, which is he takes strange routes, not necessarily travel-wise, but also he can take that to the ridiculous, the absurd, all the rest of that sort of stuff. I think what Deburke demonstrated in these first 2 rounds in particular is an ability to be able to adapt in ways that other battlers probably would have struggled given the circumstances and against the caliber of an opponent, because I mean, you notice this later on in the episode. Reactions can be good things and bad things for battlers. They can be good things, obviously, because it's what they feed off in the room. It's an energy that they need. But bad because apparently some misplaced reactions can put you off your stride. And Pedro just... What are you supposed to do with someone like Pedro who doesn't even know... Right. In battle rap terms, Pedro's Deadpool. Like, he doesn't even know what he's about to say. And... to battle someone like that must be one of those things where you've kind of got to block it out, because rebutting anything he says is going to be hard because even he wouldn't be able to make sense of what he said. And trying to keep pace with someone who's getting reactions from just random shit while you've spent months, weeks, days crafting and cultivating something that you've really honed and polished, to see it get next to no reaction must be really hard. So in Deburke's performance so far, what I've noticed is, even though, again, very minimal prep against an opponent that has the ability to be able to destabilize you at a moment's notice, so well composed, man. Really impressive. But Pedro's wasting no time.
Be in the British Army, you like some ginger Barbie. I go for and I slit you apart, G. Yo, you ain't even from I'm from the fucking Israeli army. I go for breaking your heart, G. Why you trying to act like, yo, that's exactly what it was. I'll be smacking up you, cuz. Yo, you had the shittest battler. You had fucking 2 months to prep and you still spit the same bars that you did for the brer and he didn't even turn up, so that means that you're dead. I go through and I put a fucking stake in his head. Why are you trying to act like I would be breaking a leg? Yo, you might have better creps than me, but essentially, you're like a centipede and you will never be what I...
That creased Bobby like a motherfucker. You might have better creps than me. So literally, all Pedro's doing is looking at Deburke and just picking things to pick on, right? Pedro is embodying something about battle rap that really isn't a thing at the moment or executed in a way that gets across, is that playground humor. Like, he'd pick any, like, if he had a ring on or his hair was combed a certain way or if one eye is a bit wonky, like, anything is fodder for him. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just fodder. And Hadashrooms is watching. God bless. Everyone, please spare a thought for Hadashrooms. His YouTube is not allowing him to comment on my videos. And it's really annoying because I'd quite like to hear what he's saying. Yeah, he has it 2-0 to Deburke. Interesting. Okay, Hadashrooms. I don't know if I didn't think we were judging it. I haven't judged it so far. I just assumed that they're there to put on a show. Hence why Pedro is now creased half the crowd with what did he say? Right, fuck it. Let's go back. I've lost my train of thought. The point is, though, Pedro has this ability to be able to be playground petty. And the scene's all the richer for it.
Turn up, so that means that you're dead. I go through and I put a fucking stake in his head. Why are you trying to act like I would be breaking a leg? Yo, you might have better creps than me, but essentially, you're like a centipede, and you will never be what I am. I go through with a right hand. Yo, I'll fucking hit him and his wife, fam. Why try, damn? You could never try, though. Hit you with your wife, though. Leave you with your eyebrow. Why are you trying to fly, bro? You ain't got to fly, bro. Yo, let me try and rap,
Bobby's
though.
gone.
Yo,
Bobby's gone.
You are not a rap, bro. Yo, you are a rat, though, and you will get a slap nose.
Uh-huh.
Fuck it.
There you go. Hey. Ending a battle on, you'll get a slapped nose. Jesus Christ. So, I think the funniest thing about the Pedro stuff, and there are battlers who would see this if they watch this, and they'll disagree with me publicly, but deep down in the recesses of your evil little souls, you'll agree with me. Because I have the same reaction when I see shorts, reactions, any sort of content, videos, reviews, anything that requires any real effort, right? It's hard work. What's harder, though, is when you see other people do something for 1/10 of the effort, get 20 times the reaction or response and or attention. There are battlers in that room having spent days, if not weeks, months, crafting lines, angles, gimmicks, content, concepts, all the rest of it, to see Pedro turn up with 30 minutes and get bigger reactions with, I'll take out your garden shed, I'll de-pip your apple. I can't imagine how angry... I can't imagine how angry they must be, because I'd be fucking fuming. I'd be so mad. Like, wait, let me get this straight. He turns up and does this, and y'all fucking losing your minds. I turn up with this really cool scheme on this really individual tick about this one thing that no one ever does, and none of you say anything. Fuckers. Like, but it's battle rap. Battle rap isn't just the combination of skill, technicality, presentation, or the rest of it. It's credibility. I was tweeting about this earlier. It became apparent to me. This is the weird thing. I finally caught the Will Smith stuff, the fire in the booth he did in Charlie Sloth, and then that weird, whatever it is, breakfast lemonade fucking thing. Because I'd only seen excerpts. And I was like, right, do you know what? Maybe the rest of it's fine. I watched it and I thought, wow, these are garbage. And it's not necessarily just because of what he said, but because of how he was saying it in relation to the context of why he was even there in the first place. And battle rap is the same thing, man. It's not enough just to have skill. It's not enough to turn up and look the part. You have to build credibility not only with the guys in the room and with the other with your peers and contemporaries. You've got to build it with your audience, because otherwise, when you say and do stuff and it doesn't land, it's partially because people don't buy it. Like, I think that's one of the reasons I try and be funny on these things a lot, right? And when I try and be funny, I think it becomes painfully apparent. Like yesterday, I'll share with you, I threw out wacky races to try and be funny, right? And it just died, right? But the thing with that is it invokes in me something in me that is true, which is I get pissed off. I'm like, well, fuck you. And it's weird because when I react in those ways with that demeanor, people laugh. And it's like, yeah, but you're kind of laughing at my annoyance and I don't like it. But it is genuine. If I was smart, I'd just extend that. I would utilize that. I would hone that. I'm stupid though, so I don't. So my point is that while I understand there being a frustration or an annoyance from some of the other battlers to a certain degree with the fact that Pedro is able to get away with this, an illicit reaction and irreverence that they don't match without significant effort, I would just cultivate that the same path he took to get there is available to you, which is you've just got to cultivate that credibility in the bank with your audience as to what you do, how you do it, why you do it, and then deliver and exceed on that expectation, and that's it. I think that's why you're seeing some battlers have a harder time even though they're performing relatively well than other battlers, because their expectations and credibility are such that we expect a lot more from them. Other guys are seeming to exceed expectations even though they're putting in arguably lesser performances, but that's because their expectations are super low and they're exceeding them. But that won't always be the case, so you've got to be careful with that. So anyways, my point being, if you watch the Pedro battle and you're a battler and deep down you're in this tournament and deep down you're a little bit annoyed that he's getting reactions and he's doing perhaps a little bit better with no notice versus your stuff that you prepped, all I would say is yes, use that frustration to drive you forwards, but don't make that your personality or character. Just know them's the rules of the game. I have, as an example, I have much less credibility in the battle rap sphere than almost anybody. Like, I don't have really any credibility from a journalistic and or skill-based perspective. I've just been very persistent, and I try and be respectful wherever I can possibly help it. I just try and build on that. And that's I mean, I could sit here and complain about that, but it wouldn't endear me to my audience. So it's better just to go, okay, that's what people think. Okay, I'll work to exceed or match that expectation, and hopefully down the road I build that credibility, and then I can get away with things that I wouldn't have been able to get away with when I first started out. That's the only point I wanted to make to some of the not necessarily younger, but some of the less traveled battle rappers in our midst. Anyways, it's the final round on Deburke. Let's go. And I'm going to finish my espresso now.
Yo, there you go. Sweet your shit.
Yo, do you ever miss the old days? Me too.
Yeah,
Couple of beers,
everyone does, buddy.
Dropping every slur under the sun with your drugged up little peers. Pedro thinks he can't say what he used to say because cancel culture is here. And I'm like, what would we cancel from you, bro? Your illustrious career? Why is it always guys who whine about cancel culture always have nothing to cancel? I'm not trying to get you fired from Tesco, Pedro. I just don't fuck with your battles. He's like Gen Z, trying to cancel everything they see, from South Park to comedy to Eminem to me. It's like, you? Yo, nobody cares about those old offensive lines you said. Your ego is so high that I'm impressed. He watched Charlie Kirk take a bullet inside his neck and he turned to his girlfriend and said, I am next.
That is, oof. That's, yeah. Yeah, me and Pedro are in complete agreement.
Is coming, man. Can't even be leaving my home. I'm like, if the Matrix is real, man, I think they're gonna leave you alone. But all these baby boomers constantly projecting their thoughts about cancel culture, and recently I've been connecting the dots. See, the real reason you get offended a lot is that nobody cares what you have to say, whether it's offensive or not. Time, bitch, let's go. Thank you.
Time, bitch. So, there you go. Where were we? Yeah. Unadulterated freestyle, killed Bobby dead, what the fuck, Pedro third. Deburke round 3 talks about his fear, complains about cancellation, the Charlie Kirk line. Yeesh, nobody cares what you say if it's offensive or not. Yeah, I thought that was a really great battle, man. Given the context, given the circumstances, and the execution of both the guys. Yeah, man. And a great battle to open the episode for a variety of reasons. Not only because of what it delivered on, what it actually did, but I think in the context of things, it shone a light on Deburke, which is great because, again, in a wider context, Deburke is still building a name within UK battle rap. I know he's a very successful YouTuber. However, within battle rap, not so much, and he's still building cultivating a reputation and having a name like Pedro on his sheet with the added benefit that it is an exhibition, so no one really wins or loses, but he gets the shine of people who thought he won. And then you get people who haven't been tuning into the tournament maybe seeing Pedro pop up on a card and going, "Ooh, okay, I like Pedro," and then maybe sticking around for the rest of the tournament. That's great. That's fantastic. I think that's a great choice from Prem to put that on, to number one, to book it, make it happen, encourage them to do their thing. I think also the fact that it was executed in the way that it was and it came off the way that it was is great. But it opened a wider question for me, which is that some of these episodes have felt a little lacking in terms of content regarding battle rap, i.e., the battles take maybe 6 minutes apiece, 7 minutes apiece, so that's 21 minutes in an hour and 20-minute broadcast. It's not shifted in that favor. Obviously, it's a little bit longer than that, I grant you, and the judging takes up a portion of the time, and the studio segments take a portion of the time. But I think at the moment, one of the things that I think that I struggle with the flow of the Premier Battles tournament episodes is that slog is too much of a word, but an hour and 20 minutes when the battles take up less than a third of the runtime, and from what I'm seeing from people, that's the reason they want to tune in. I'm not one of those people, but at the same time, I can see it. It'd be like tuning into a football match and the majority of the fucking program being the punditry. Like, in a 2.5 hour broadcast, you want an hour and a half of it to be football. If you tuned into a 2.5 hour broadcast and half an hour was football, you'd think, well, why the fuck would I stick around for the other 2 hours? Like, the bit I care about is not happening yet. And I think part of that is because, again, of a lack of investment in the tournament participants. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about as one of my bullet points before we move on to the next one, because I think it's salient to talk about it now, is what I would have liked to have seen is a few more segments that center around the actual participants to the tournament. I understand that they're utilizing some of these cross segments to highlight, like in this episode, they had Koj and Raptor. And I think they had a music video for someone else. Hang on, there's 3 of you watching. I know one of you's Hadashrooms. I know Hadashrooms can't comment, but the other 2 of you watching, do be a dear, say hello. So I don't feel like I'm talking to myself. I'll do it anyway, but you know what I mean. It just feels weird if I just sit here talking to myself. Right. Let's have a look. Kick Nelly. So Pedro versus the... it was Hulk. Hulk's Johnny Lawrence music video. So that's fine, because Hulk was in the episode. And I understand what Stro was saying. Stro said something to the effect of, we try and get the guys stuff, but they can't always send it to us, or they don't always have a hard copy of it. I get that. But one of the things that I was kind of sold on about the tournament was this idea of getting to know the battlers in a way that was presented by Prem, so that we could start to build kind of again, someone described, I think it was Adam Blompe actually, when it comes to the Attitude Era. One of the things that made sense about the Attitude Era in wrestling context is that it felt like its own little village, its own little world, and there were characters within that made it easy for people to tune in and understand immediately because you were signposted correctly. But out of context, obviously, wrestling doesn't make any sense and it's weird and it's all the rest of it. Within battle rap, it's the same thing. Unless you can very quickly contextualize someone, asking someone to sit through an hour and a half of a battle rap broadcast whereby 7-8 minutes of it is the actual battle rap, you need a hook. You need to be able to get people interested and invested in the people actually doing the thing that you're trying to center your programming around. And I think at the moment, one of the things that I think is letting it down is that. Whether or not that's the fault of Prem is another question entirely, however, because in my experience, some of the guys are a bit reticent to A, talk, and B, be themselves or an extension of themselves. There could be any number of reasons for that too. I understand it, and I'm just going to move this. I've realised it's on a really stupid fucking thing. There you go. That'll do. That looks nicer. What was I saying? Oh, guys, right. So, I talk too much. I'll fully take that point. And not every battler needs to have the platform to showcase themselves. Some of them can do their battling in the ring, and that's fine. I do think, though, that more of them, and maybe Prem could work on this dynamic with them, have more of a character within the scope of battling. I have to check this just in case it's someone pinged me to get on. Hadashrooms has it 2-1 to Pedro. Ridiculous last round. Great showing adapting by Deburke. I agree. Thanks, Hadashrooms. The other 2 of you watching, not commenting, cowards. I'm going to find out who you are. I'm going to name you. Anyways, what was I saying? Right, so a lot of these guys complain about not getting shine or mentions or anything that, and I understand that to a certain degree, but it is also because people don't see a redeeming quality in mentioning what you do. It's the line you have to it's the line you have to draw when trying to make a name for yourself. Is how far are you prepared to go to get your point across and to be noticed, right? And it's why clout chasing is dangerous, because it becomes addictive and it can become your thing, right? That's why I'm quite keen to try and tap down on the need I have sometimes to cut promos on things, because I realize it ultimately doesn't do anything. It doesn't lead to anything positive. Yelling and complaining about things and just cutting promos is it's satisfying in the moment, but it doesn't really lead to anything conducive. So I understand why battlers wouldn't want to do that. What I don't understand, though, is why battlers aren't keen to use every opportunity to grab a microphone and tell people how great they are, or what they're going to do, or how cool something is that they're going to do. And the thing that I've noticed most about this tournament is that I would, again, in my humble opinion, I would say there have been maybe 2 people who have been active in proclaiming that A, they're going to do really well if not win, and B, trying to raise awareness not only of the tournament but themselves. One of them's Dojo and the other's Kingsley. And both of those guys have the technical skills to back it up. They have good in-ring charisma. I think they get it. I think Prem are quite high on both of them as well. So that's a happy medium. But there are plenty of guys in the tournament that I think have just as much to offer in terms of the charisma and in terms of what they can bring to the product outside of battling, which, again, the reason I'm flagging this is because a lot of the programming isn't the battles. So why wouldn't you want to position yourself in a position where you could be taking advantage of an hour a week that's being presented on a platform that's got 25,000 subscribers and an inbuilt audience of maybe a couple of thousand a week? I mean, why do you think I joke about us taking over Cammy's spot on like I want an advert spot on Prem's Where Winning Matters? Like, I'll say it again right now. Briggsy, Stro, anyone that will listen, but put me on every week, please. I want a 5-minute segment every week to talk about how great my show is, please. I want Crash to be there. I want Crash to tell everyone how great our show is every Monday. Because why not? And I wish I wish I saw more battlers vying for that. Because at the moment, it's a bit too quiet for my liking. And partly because of that, I think one of the things that I wish Prem would maybe consider doing is having a few more of the bigger names, maybe not battling the guys, but adding a bit more star power to the product in segmentation. Well, they're doing that with the judges and with the studio segments and with the features. I get that, but maybe some direct interactions, some behind the scenes, whatever it is, to allow me to get to grips and understand the characters of the battlers a little bit better than just their stuff in the ring and pre and post battle as they're getting ready to battle. I've ranted a little bit here, granted, but like I was saying, we're 5 episodes deep and I've had a pretty long time to formulate this opinion now. And the thing I want to see it now. I want to see the guys start embracing their personalities, embracing a confidence in who and what they are. Obviously, don't just turn up and be a twat and ignore the signs. Like we've had instances of that in UK Battle Rap where a guy is chosen a character and just fucking run with it, no matter how many we all are yelling, no, stop, you need to stop, and they take that as, oh, it must be working then. I'm saying study your audience, understand what they respond to, understand what they don't respond to. Try and feed that expectation and that need without ever coming across as being too, you know what I mean? Find that balancing act. I'm not saying do absolutely every show. I'm not saying jump on absolutely every space. I am saying, though, for me, and having seen what I've seen of the tournament so far, and I've been following it as fucking closely as I can, it's a bit quiet. And I'd want to see more from the battlers. Prem are pushing it every which way. They're clipping it up short once a week, releasing the battles individually. They're engaging with a lot of the content creators that are posting it. Cammy's on it. Even Trubs has done a post-match wrap-up. I don't think anyone was on it. Don't know if that was because they weren't invited or maybe they were and didn't show up. I don't know. All I can say, though, is it's a bit quiet. So battlers in the tournament. I know some of this is pre-recorded, and I know some of you know results that we don't know yet. that doesn't mean that you can't utilize a tournament to garner a following, an audience, a reputation, cachet, whatever it is, to be able to carry you forward. It's still an opportunity. Don't waste it. Anyways, I'm going to get off my soapbox for a couple of minutes because I have a few more points, but we have other battles to get to. So let's get to... We'll skip all the studio segments. Let's get to the next battle.
Where Winning Matters Tournament Group Stage Round 2. If you're in the building, make some noise! Where Winning Matters is sponsored by Cartridge. Shout them out. We're going to jump straight into the final battle of the day. On the left
I've realised that's really quiet. Let's turn that up.
hand side, this man needs no introduction.
There you go. Now you can hear it. That's better.
Bison Briggz. Let's get it in. Let's go.
One other thing I'm just going to say before we move on. So, full disclosure, I tweeted about it, so I feel like I'm allowed to say it. I've been there. I was there. Feel Weird Studios. Cool place. I love it. I think it's fantastic. I know no one else mentioned it during the episode. I fucking love the setup they have there. It's so cool to just hang out there and chat. The audio in there is superb. The setup that they've got to be able to set up and film and then record other stuff, really good. I fucking love it. I want as many events to take place there as possible going forward, please, Prem. As many as possible.
Cheers.
And on the right-hand side, introduce yourself.
I obviously need an introduction, innit? It's Hulk, Professor Banner, at Professor Banner UK, innit? Come on.
Come on, let's go.
Me.
Side it off camera. Round one on Briggz, let's go.
Let's go. See, the last round was a mess. I knew I'd never be match fit. But after 2 years out and 1 day's prep, it was a madness, and that's it. But things happen for a reason, Hulk. I guess the fact is what the fact is. I had to go through the dojo just to make sure I'm back with perfected practice. So you can talk about the choke. Mock me to your friends, it's funny. So you see Hulk thrown everywhere like he sponsored the event. See, that might work against the bottom tier, but not in here. It don't feel right. This ain't dojo. Hulk's about to see a real fight. Stone baked. I would have flattened dough with a steel.
He mentioned it didn't work against the, or wouldn't work against the bottom tier. Is he referring to Dojo or is he referring to Kingsley? Interesting. Let me rewind. I want to hear that again. Sorry. It's always that thing. I don't know why. I don't know if, again, there's 3 people watching right now. The 3 of you watching and then anyone that watches us after the fact. I have to rewatch battles these days to make sure I'm... And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm presuming no one wants to hop on because I've been live now for nearly an hour. The comment's been there for the whole period and no one wants to hop on. So if it's all the same to you guys, I'm going to turn off my Zoom now because it's just annoying seeing my big dumb face on a second screen. There you go. So I can get rid of that now so I'm not being distracted by it. And I can also put my notes over this side as well. So now I can read them without having to bring them up every 5 seconds. There you go. Right, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I'm not sure what he was referring to. Although I will say, I didn't see Hulk really lay into Briggsy for it. It seemed like the turmoil around Briggsy's chokes was more on the show and then the discourse. But Hulk really didn't lay into him all that much for choking. Which I suppose, given how the battle goes, is probably a good thing. Anyways, sorry.
See, the last round was a mess. I knew I'd never be match fit. But after 2 years out and 1 day's prep, it was a madness, and that's it. But things happen for a reason, Hulk. I guess the fact is what the fact is. I had to go through the dojo just to make sure I'm back with perfected practice. So you can talk about the choke. Mock me to your friends, it's funny. So you see Hulk thrown everywhere like he sponsored the event. See, that might work against the bottom tier, but not in here. It don't feel right. This ain't dojo. Hulk's about to see a real fight. Stone baked. I would have flattened dough with a steel pipe. Fuck bar for bar. We can go hand to hand like the deal's right. See, after the last round, you thought I was an easy option. Let's consider this a statement shown. I'm going nowhere. This is squatters' rights inside a vacant home. They say for me to win this tournament, I really need to break their soul. But for Hulk to win the battle, they just want to know if he can even make it close. Time. Let's go.
Okay. My note for this was nothing in there really stood out to me except for the fact that it was a solid round. And I think that's what's important about this battle is that Briggsy was just looking to get a solid round out. Sorry, just another thing that's been bugging me. I'm going to ruin my shot now. I just want it a bit low. See, I know I'd ruin it. Fuck! Sorry. There you go. Oh, no, there's my... you can see my clothes rack. There are all my Arsenal shirts there. I have 4 of them. One signed by Thomas Rosicki. Life was completed. Right, let's try it again. Fuck it. Just leave it there then. What was I going to say? Oh, so, yeah. I think Briggz just wanted to get a solid round out. Oh, I really hate that angle now. Sorry. Talk amongst yourselves. Fucking... So the problem is, by the way, I have a webcam. But it's on one of those, like, rubber things. I hate that. Because I'm down here somewhere. Like, hi. It's fucking bullshit. Got to move my chair and all the rest of it. Fucking piece of shit. Right, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to fucking get it into a position. I'm going to leave it. And stop fucking with it. Because we're an hour in and we've only done one battle. So, fuck. Talk amongst yourselves. Don't mind me. Don't mind my harem behind me. Or harem. I forget harem. What? It was a Superman word that I heard that I don't hear used at all ever. Fucking thing. There. Happy? Dickhead. Right. Fuck. There. That'll do. This is the kind of quality content you all tune in to see, right? Fucking quality. Right. Fuck was I talking about? Briggz. Right. Wanted to get a clean round out. And I think one of the things that was important to him was that. Now, as it transpires in the battle, it's funny to me because I think it was a close battle. I don't think it's a battle we'll be talking about for a long time, though, because both guys seemed to... Playing it safe is too strong a word, but I think both of them were keenly aware that... I think Hulk underestimated Briggz, and I think Briggz overestimated Hulk. But we'll see what we're talking about. Anyways, the point being is my notes for this one are... it was a decent opener. Solid performance. And yeah, the only two notes I made in the first round is, by the way, I'll preface this. Again, Hulk has much more cachet, can say whatever he likes, do whatever he likes, I get it. But I'm begging people within UK Battle Rap. I'm begging you all now. Stop saying UK Battle Rap is dead, dying, unpopular, not cool, not good, or any variation, delineation, or alteration of... Hey, audience, this thing you're watching isn't very good. You should probably go watch something else because it's really fucking annoying. I get that it comes from a place of trying to speak real or whatever, but stop it. Just manifest destiny for a bit. I don't care. Just stop talking about it in that context because the whole point of this tournament is to fucking raise the profile of it. You're not going to raise the profile of something by constantly referencing how on its arse it is. You don't go to... If I'm trying to sell a company to another company, you don't kick off the negotiation by saying, so, cheers for the meeting to stay. Just want to let you know, fucking hell, it's terrible here. Really, really bad. And everything's falling apart. Nothing works. How much were you going to offer us again? Like, just... There's no need for it, is what I'm saying. Anyways, you'll see what I mean. Hulk, round one. Let's go.
See, I don't care if I woke up and it was snowing this morning. I wouldn't even care if it was pissing down. I came to put on for Prem. Because UK battle rap chips are down. I've been a stereotype my whole life. So today I finally get to make my niggas proud because you're about to get sunned by a caring black guy that sticks around. I always aim high and extend my reach. So looking down...
I didn't catch that in the first watch through. That was... Okay, yeah, that was... Okay, Hulk, that was good. That was good.
Can't hear all that senseless speech. I'm up here with them great flows. You know how the game goes. Today I had to make an exception and set my aim low.
So, by the way, that's... If you listen carefully, listen to how clean that audio is. I get for people watching this who don't give a fuck about production and editing and audio levels, gain, any of that sort of shit. You do not give a shit. I love how it's so just... There's no echo. Fucking music to my ears.
Well, life's a reach. The irony. You're getting smoked like top shelf and the growth will not help. If his friend said it'd be big, then his mates are slow. The only Briggz I respect is a DJ from Grove you'll get moved to. You're the size of a Labubu. You ain't equipped to be battling demons. Bro, how you trying to act like the maddest of geezers when we all know that you little jaffers are seedless? You didn't have to have seen this. You didn't have to have seen this, but trust me, I'm a rotten brer. When they diagnosed me, it either made the doctor scared, catch me in my usual. All my bros are plotting there, this is what I'm used to. Smoking on some orange hairs. I mean, he's the head of the league, so it's got us asking, how can we help Briggz? If you want my advice, just give him a belt. One that he can hang himself with.
So I didn't realize that was going to be a slogan for the rest of the battle. I mean, that was a decent end, but I'm not sure working it into a slogan worked or hindered him, to be honest with you. But that was a solid round 2. Probably his strongest round of the battle. We'll have to wait and see. Round 2 on Briggsy. Let's go. I've opined enough for the moment. Let's get on with some battle, shall we?
See, imagine being Hulk's kid at school.
Uh-huh.
You know, you're chilling, chatting with your friends, and then the teacher says, "Excuse me, your attention, may I please grab it again? Tomorrow's session is all about your parents and the chosen career path that they went." Now, little Johnny's dad's a fireman. Susie's mum manages events.
Mm-hmm.
Shane's dad's a Sparky, and Hulk's kid sat there sweating, stressing because he's about to be next. Gets to the front of the class and he actually says, "Well, my dad stands in fields asking if teenagers if they like batty or breasts." Fuck.
And someone said this in the comments, I think. Doesn't help. He's wearing the t-shirt for it. And it was Hulk. Hulk was in the comment section. Hey, listen, if you like the shirt, DM me for... That was great.
Fucking poor kid. You're the type of grassroots dad to turn up smoking your weed. Did you know Hulk, Lefty and Pedro set up the under-11 Ultras? They can't wait for Brixton away in a week. They never pay subs, always abuse the ref, and it's the same every week. But the maddest part is, none of their kids even play for the team. Fucking benchwarmer dad. Only around when his kids are asleep. He puts his whole life on his Instagram. Not the type to give shit discreet, but ask me why he never posts his bird on his Instagram.
Why?
Because that bitch has got more kids than teeth. Time. Let's go.
Mean. And that's... So, this, I wonder, might become a common theme for Briggsy's battles. Solid first round, but then the second round seems to be where he targets, because I think what his strategy seems to be is that the second round switches the momentum. So maybe he starts off weaker in the first round, maybe his opponent starts off stronger. It doesn't really matter, because the second round is where he gains a round back. That then puts it in not only the opponent's mind but the judge's mind that he's the one on the ascendancy in the third round, because the third round was again pretty solid. And I'm not sure, and we'll come to it, but they placed a particular onus on one aspect of Hulk's third. But I don't know if he'd have done that round first and his first round second, that he would have necessarily gotten the nod in the third. I'm not sure, but let's go on to Hulk's second, shall we?
Yo, bitches love my aura and the energy that Ricky gives. He's the where's my hug kind of guy, they give a pity kiss. But things can get awfully ugly pretty quick when your hair's the same colour as the Salford City kit. I promise me you won't beat me by yourself. You're gonna need a clique quite big. I'll lay your whole family down one after the other and build a house out of their bodies, Briggs by Briggs. You think I really care if I'm up north or not? Like it makes a difference whose jaw I box. I'm unorthodox, everything with sure he's not. Bright orange, that's the reason why they thought he's hot. Yo, and you got a little crew too, hats off. Like I won't run through the whole backlog of Shotty's little lapdogs. If I saw this bred dying of thirst in the desert, I wouldn't even offer him the last drop of my backwash. But I'm trying to be a better person and put behind me the things that I've done with a knife. See, happiness has come so far to reach. I guess being comfortable has come to suffice. I don't even come to win battles. You can ask Kingsley, I only come for the vibes, and you're here trying to have the run of your life looking like a fucking bottle of Sunny Delight. But he's the head of the league. So we're asking, how can we help Briggs? If you want my advice, just give him a belt. One that he can hang himself with. Time.
Was his phone going off as well at the end of the battle? Sorry, 1 second. Was that him reaching for his phone because it was going off?
Win battles. You can ask Kingsley, I only come for the vibes, and you're here trying to have the run of your life looking like a fucking bottle of Sunny Delight. But he's the head of the league. So we're asking, how can we help Briggs? If you want my advice, just give him a belt. One that he can hang himself with. Time.
Yeah, it was his phone fucking going off in the middle of the battle. Fucking hell. So, one of those rounds where I don't think it was going to elicit a lot of reactions because he was going sort of more direct and serious, and you don't get enough of that in this tournament either. Whether or not that gets recognised is another thing entirely, because I think Briggsy's second elicited more reactions and was funnier. Does that make it more skillful? And again, I think it brings into question the judging in the sense of, I know that they made reference to punches. They want to see a lot of them. Quality of punches, though, is always going to be difficult to judge, because the harsher stuff or the more direct, dare I say it, less comedic stuff is harder to quantify, because it just doesn't elicit a reaction out of you. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying Hulk's second round was bad in any meaningful way. I'm just saying, though, that compared. You know, I've also noticed, by the way, they've got so many different hues of orange. So I've based all of my graphics here on the Premier Battles logo. As you can see, it's not the same fucking color as the Premier Battles in the fucking video. God damn it. But yeah, solid round. I think, though, that round goes to Briggsy. Because, again, funnier, more comedic, and...
See, I'm not saying I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong.
Bits.
But the truth, well, it hurts. And I'm not saying you was Hulk. I'm just saying you look like you've been a dickhead since birth. You know, one of them fat, horrible kids, the little bullies, intimidating. And for the most part, it works. But if we get to wrestle, you're about to see Hulk's face across a ripped shirt. He's going Hollywood now, trying to be an actor. I hope the boy lives his dream. He's a content creator. Think KSI and Mr. Beast, but his whole content is music, his views, his clicks, his tweets, the events he attends, or the comedy skits that he released. It's all copy and paste, click and delete. It's all misrelief, but then he steps in the pit and says shit bars like sticking donuts in a box like a Krispy Kreme. You fucking idiot. But now he's in my city like Victor Reese. And in my kitchen, the bare minimum is to flip the beef chefed up. Have the live stream saying, make it stop, bring your bitch, card tricks, I'll really break a box. See, Visual backed out the battle. I said, fuck it, I'll go and take a spot. Because he said he couldn't list a benefit. But the moment Mike dropped, I took this moment to introduce myself like Mr. Kennedy. Let's go round 3.
I appreciate a good Mr. Kennedy bar. It's good. I think the thing that held him back in that round is the point he was making is the whole you're attempting to be an influencer and you're not very good at it. That took him 20 seconds and didn't really hit that. He didn't really subvert the expectation or deliver on the punch the way I think you need to if you're going to take a third of your round to get to that point. It's perfectly fine point. And again, in conjunction with the second round, which is the whole, imagine your kid at school having to describe what you do for work. It's more of the absurdity about what he does, and that's great. However, it just took him a long time. But, as you're about to see, sometimes it's not what you do, sometimes it's what your opponent can't do that wins you a battle. Hulk, round 3. Let's go.
See, after this tournament, your name will mean nothing. Just tarnished and shit left down in the dirt. See, what you don't realize is this is his legacy being written down in these rounds and these words. I know he's had a lot of battles before this, but I'm going to be the guy that clowns him the worst, because if I had a son that was born ginger, I'd have grabbed a little cunt and drowned him at birth. Bruv, today I became a godfather. So hold tight my nephews, Elliot and Finn. See, that kind of title's given to a man based off the effort he can bring. See, they know me as an uncle. They can rely on me over any little thing. Imagine a kid says he's going to get his dad and comes back with this smelly little ginge. Bro... You are half a man, we're all certain. You ain't a war merchant with the fours bursting. If he's talking about toast, it's got to be Warburtons.
That got Kingsley, Pagan, and Stroh, and yet somehow cost him the battle.
I said if he's talking about
Even
toast,
him.
it's got to be Warburtons. Wait, I said, if he's talking about toast, it's got to be Warburtons. So now you want to act like you rap on the block and seem mean. But in reality, you'll probably get knocked out by a preteen. They'll say it's AI. We don't need no green screen. It's just so hard to believe like a clean fiend. See, he's the face of the league. So we're asking, how can we help Briggz? If you want my advice, just give him a belt. One that he can hang himself with.
So,
Make some noise!
that's fine. So, if you watch that, I didn't notice this on the first watch. He said that in the post interview, like, oh yeah, I stumbled a little bit, but I recovered, so it doesn't matter. If you watch that round, he wasn't the most confident. Like, there were a couple of noticeable pauses there. Curious. Yes, total jobs. Thank you for another job. Thank you. What was I saying? Fuck's sake. What was I saying? Oh, the share thing. I need to remember to share YouTube, not my window. You're going to see my subscription to Pornhub pop up at some point. Apparently, did you know this? Apparently, porn is listed as a hobby. What? Okay. If you say so. Like, yeah. Fair enough. I mean, I think fucking letter writing, stamp collecting, football's are hobbies, but yeah, dude wants to put porn as fucking list of hobbies. It's a bold move, but you do your thing, brother. What the fuck was I saying? Tangent. Where the fuck was I going? Hulk. Yes. So, he seemed to be struggling throughout the whole thing, to be honest with you. It wasn't the cleanest round from him. And I think he was anticipating a weaker Briggz. I don't think he was anticipating some 3 solid rounds, number 1, and certainly 2 where he provoked more reaction than perhaps he was expecting given the size of the room. And I also can't believe that what was probably for him, at least described to me by other guys, as an offhand bar leading up to the main, which was if you're talking about toast, you're only talking about Warburtons. Like, it's so ironic that something that got a reaction is the thing that cost him, because the judges were fucking merciless, man. They basically said, look, that's what cost you the battle. Again, it was a stumble. Like, it cost him 3 seconds. 3 seconds. And it was just because the battle was relatively close. And I think both guys over and underestimated each other respectively. And as neat a lesson as that's going to be for any other battler in this tournament, focus on you, man. Try not to worry too much about what your opponent's going to say, just make sure your stuff is as polished, honed, good, original, whatever it is you're attempting to do with your stuff as possible. Try not to worry too much about what your opponent's doing. That is going to be How to Shrooms. How to Shrooms has got a direct commentary line. There's 4 of you watching right now, and only I've commented so far. Cowards! What was I going to say? By the way, you understand, like, again, trying to grow a platform, like, I need people to comment in order for YouTube to recognize that you've actually watched it. I might be talking to myself for all I know. 4 of you might be bots watching this, apart from Hadashroom, so I suppose only 3 of you are bots. 2-1 to Briggz. Okay, yeah, no, I agree. I gave the first round to Hulk and the second 2 rounds to Briggz. Not necessarily because of the stumble. I noticed the stumble, and it does make a difference, but I just thought Briggz was a bit funnier, a bit sharper, a bit more invested, punched more, and ultimately just had the better performance of the battle. So I didn't really have a problem giving it 2-1 before I saw the judge's decision. I guess it's Lost Prem or Lost Premi? Lost Premi? Commenting, I wasn't really feeling it, as in the styles. I think, did it say he was iBattle? Or something like that. So, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe edit that part out. Hey, yeah, I'm judging this battle. Didn't like it because I don't like UK battle rap. Yeah, maybe edit that part out going forwards. Just small editorial suggestion. Sean Cray as well was very critical, not only of the stumble, but of course Hulk going back to the ginger stuff quite so much, and Homeschool said the same thing, which raised an interesting judging proposition, which is, so now we're saying, and Bobby said something to the effect of, if you're gonna go back to the same well, you're fine to do that in 1 round, but I don't want to see it in 2 additional rounds in a 3-round format where they're only 60 seconds long. I can kind of see that. I think it's limiting, though. I think then, what if you don't have enough for what if you don't have enough material on a particular subject to go for a full round, and it then makes it awkward writing around those things, and it's just easier to disperse them between the 3 rounds? It raises an interesting point of contention as far as how often can someone go back to the well? And again, I would argue part of it is how petty you can be. And I think Hulk wasn't quite petty enough to keep going back to the well. He was petty, don't get me wrong. Like, you look like a, what did he say? A bottle of Sunny Delight. There were other, you look like the Salford City kit. Stuff like that. But like, and if I had a ginger kid, I'd drown it at birth and stuff like that. But it wasn't like, again, I feel like if you're going to pick on something so blatantly obvious and trot it out and try it out, you've got to go ultra petty with it, or mention it once and then never mention it again, to Bobby's point. But yeah, ultimately, I thought this was a pretty clear, cut and dry decision. Briggz 2-1, not really much debate or conjecture there. So, let's go to the final battle, which is DubTee versus Kick Nelly. Let's go.
For sponsoring the Where Winning Matters tournament. This is the second battle of the group stages. That being said, on the left-hand side, let them know who you are, bro.
Kick, man, you gotta try better. Sleep on Nelly, you're in a dilemma. Let's go.
And on the right hand side, introduce yourself.
DubTee, let's get it, people. Make some noise. Let's go.
This is a 3-round judge battle. The coin toss was done off camera. Dub decided he wants to start round 1. It's on you, bro. Let's go.
Lad, you are a fucking weirdo. Nothing that you ever say is legit. His branding's all off, but he never changed a thing. I don't care how you market it. The tournament run ends today for Kick. Fuck 60 seconds. I got him sold in 30 like an elevator pitch. I bring devastating shit. Let's see if you can withstand it. I know this game like the back of my hand. So I'll teach him a lesson if I pimp slap him. Bro, you took a wrestling bump against Yunnan, had everyone in the bits laughing. But think Goldberg versus Bret Hart. His career was over as soon as Kick landed. He thinks because he's a wrestler now that he can handle violence. But I am too clever. You don't understand the science. Knee to his head. It's a fucking fact he's dying. I'll chase him round the ring and drop kick in the corner like Daniel Bryan. He's getting sent home early. Bro, my heart bleeds for you. You can try and be funny, but I'm side splitting till he's cut in half, clean in two. He'll bring the same jokes as Red Wolf. We know exactly the bars they'll produce. And he just can't see that the writing's on the wall because he can't read a room. No one's ever said that he's a problem. And they'll all call me Wonder Boy when I spin kick like Stephen Thompson. Time.
So, to touch on, I think it was Bobby that judged this 3-0 to Kick. I respect Bobby's opinion on battle rap more than almost anybody. I disagree with you there, Bobby. I know you're a champion. I know I have nothing but shit battle rap takes, and I will make that my jingle one of these days. RZA and his shit battle rap takes. I'll probably have to pay Bobby royalties if I ever do that as well, so maybe I'll hold off on doing that. However, if I bring up my notes for this battle, yeah, I gave the first round to DubTee. Obviously, we'll see Kick Nelly's in a second, but the criticism Bobby had seemed to be he kept on going back to the flips stuff a lot, as in Kick. You know, Kick with the Daniel Bryan, Goldberg, what was the other one? Oh, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. That's fine, but I would argue, though, that he's recontextual it twice within that. So he's done it once with the Goldberg thing, which is kind of played out at this point because everyone heard of the retirement kick. The Daniel Bryan one's actually kind of an interesting one. And then the Wonderboy Thompson, like, that's MMA. That's not wrestling. I get it's a flip, and I get it's on the name kick. I get that. But I think, again, in the space of a round, like, that's fine. And I think if you want to say he does it again in the second and third, and therefore you've got to dock him because he keeps going back to the well on that particular occasion, okay, fine. But I don't think that's enough to award him 3 rounds. I think if you want to look at Kick for the final 2, maybe, because I do recall Kick getting slightly bigger reactions in the room as a result of some of the things that he said off comment. But I think in terms of the composition of a round, that was Dub's strongest round, and it's the one I awarded to him. There's a couple of interesting lines in there. I thought it was articulated well. I thought he got his stuff out cleanly. He did run over slightly, that's true. But anyways, let's see Kick's response. Let's get to that quick, and then I can make my point more fully.
Battling you has given me a complex, and it's really feeding into some niggling doubts. Because if I'm in the same boat as Willie now...
Sorry, I think I just noticed something. Right, watch Enigma the Prophet in the background.
Feeding into some niggling doubts. Because if...
Yeah, I see you. I see you, Enigma. I see you. We do... I heard what he heard. Oh my god, if someone doesn't immediately clip that up with the Metal Gear Solid alert and zoom in on Enigma the Prophet in the background after it says that, we failed as a community. Failed. Because that's fucking hysterical. I know he didn't say it. But the fact that he's reacted like he had, I didn't see that. That's so funny. One more time. Sorry. Indulge an old man. That's funny.
Battling you has given me a complex, and it's really feeding into some niggling doubts. Because if I'm in the same boat as Willie now, I guess as a rapper, I'm really just a bit Mickey Mouse.
Sorry. That's... Okay, right. Big boy journalistic pants on. Oh, fucking hell. That's hysterical. I'll DM him after this live stream and I'll say, I saw you. That's so funny. That's so funny. That's really funny. Sorry. Anyway, sorry, Kick. I shouldn't be interrupting you. Sorry. I'm really sorry.
Me a complex. And it's really feeding into some niggling doubts. Because if I'm in the same boat as Willie now, I guess as a rapper, I'm really just a bit Mickey Mouse. But this tournament ain't gonna be your Cinderella story. It ain't Disney, pal, because I know for a fact that my man's verses are shit. I had that battle rap dream. I still managed to 30 this kid. He's coming out here saying 3 rounds of straight nothing. Makes sense, his name's Dub, his mouth is always moving. But we're really all just waiting for him to say something. But he claims to love this, but that shit can hurt you, mate. That love will put you in an early grave like Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, kind of a nothing thing. Although I do think it's interesting that he picked up on the Dub thing. Although I'm sure Dub has had this against him 1,000 times because it's battle rap and people will pick up on the same thing. But in his first battle against Red Wolf, the what do you say? It's I translate in America because I'm Dub, something like that. I thought that was the most clever variation of that name flip, if you want to call it that, so far. I think just using it straight is probably a little bit played out at this point, but still fine. Anyways, Kick was saying.
But now he's pronouncing his words in a certain way. 1 minute rapping in a northern accent, the next it's southern cuz. Acting like that's a cheat code that's got him on the up and up. Well, last night I was at your gaff. I could tell you all about your mother tongue. He grew up being... He grew up being lectured.
A bit petty as fuck. I think that's where Kick Nelly sometimes loses me. So I think he we'll come to it at the end, obviously, but he delivered on what the judges wanted to see from him, which is to take that dial from 12 and move that fucker down to about a 6 or a 5 in terms of the eccentricity of his performance. However, I think with that sort of line, again, it's that thing of, mate, address your opponent. Dub's right there. That's the sort of line you want to say right in his fucking eyes because you're dissing his mum. Like, you can't say it to someone else. Like, that's not personal. Like, you're supposed to be addressing your opponent. I get he's got glasses on as well. That doesn't help. Fucking address your opponent. Like, talk to him, please. I'm begging you.
By veterans and kings. Funny, his name is Will, but he's yet to inherit a thing. Immature. Scrapping RX after his 8th round of rapping, see, trying to swing over bars really shows you're stuck in that playground mentality and people want to celebrate this cunt. You got 4 chins and you still can't take a punch.
Time, let's go. Second round of
So, and went overtime as well. But yeah, no, that round goes to DubTee, man. I'm sorry. Nah, goes to DubTee. I'm sorry, Bobby. Sorry to disagree with you so fervently and openly. But nah, that's a round 1 on DubTee. It wasn't a bad round from Kick. I think it was clean. Bit awkward at times, but that's just his thing. Couple of good references in there, but went overtime by 10 seconds as well. Like, again, we're supposed to be taking that into consideration. I thought Dub was just cleverer. Got his stuff out better, hit a little bit better, was cleverer with the stuff, and just had better references, man. I will grant you, though, this next round maybe is where the battle turns for people, but let's see. DubTee, round 2.
Your round should be cut short for time wasting. I'm too cold, I put a blade on Kick like I'm ice skating. Every battle I'm in is life-changing, the shit happened again. They bring me rappers, they get torn open. I don't care who I have to offend, I'm wilding out. It's you surrounded by battle rappers again, being shown as subpar. This is Nick's Cannon event. I have no clue why Prem's giving this nonce a chance. You have failed to win 4 tournaments, so today for the 5th time, you will not advance. Acting like he's edgy and cool. Pussy, drop the act. It's violent shit when I take a blade to Nick and I ain't smuggling contraband. You ain't scary.
I know that people are going to talk... Again, the referencing was It was what they were saying, like, don't go back to the well with the flips. Okay, fair enough. But there's so much about Dub's performance that I just resonate so much more strongly with than Kick. Again, Chief on which, look at how he's addressing Kick direct, like, at him. He is performing at Kick, not to a crowd. I always prefer that. That very, and again, the whole. Oh, sorry. Okay, later. There's just so much more deliberate about Dub's performances, and I think the thing that hurts him is the thing that makes him good, is that he tries to be clever. He really does agonize over the details, and yes, he's guilty of underestimating his opponents because he really does fancy himself. He really does think he's as good as he thinks he is, right? But there's nothing wrong with that. And I feel like he does get punished a little bit for not having a humility that he doesn't feel that he should have to express. Because it's battle rap. Of course you've got to fucking say you're the best, or you're the fucking dopest or illest or the sickest or whatever. I just feel like he hasn't earned arrogance to him, and it's in every iota of his performance. I don't get the resistance to that. Let him be him. Let him do his thing.
Like he's edgy and cool. Pussy drop the act. It's violent shit when I take a blade to Nick and I ain't smuggling contraband. You ain't scary. No one thinks his prick's a savage. Takes him 8 bars to get a single thing established. You are just a traumatized kid trying to get away from his mother, but still carrying the weight of that bitch's baggage, which is why it's funny you're called Kick, because your mother never kicked the habit. So you overcompensate. Your man is confused. Tries to distance himself from reality because he can't handle the truth. Always acting like a dickhead. I should beat you blacker than blue, always perving on bare women. Nick, the only women you can fuck are ones as damaged as you. Time.
That was, again, man, that was a vicious round. Like, there's bits in there that are just kind of cool. Like, I like the knifing Nick, like but I'm not smuggling contraband. Like, that was cool. But, like, mean, man. Again, he's delivering again. I feel like Dub is. He gets a lot of criticism relative to the fact that he puts in good performances, man. I really do think that. I really do think that for all the favorite tag and all the rest of it, and people want to then use that to kind of say, well, if you want to be the favorite, then you have to be up here all the time. I think he's consistently good. I really do. I think he puts in great battles a lot. He has his moments, sure. Anyways, round 2 on Kick. Let's go.
Every bitch he's laid with has died of asphyxiation. You're a fucking nerd rapper. Girls ask for his number, he gives her his verse tracker.
Okay. Legitimately, really funny line. For the non-battle rap people that watch this, verse tracker is like battle rap Wikipedia. There is a battle rap wiki, by the way, which is slightly different. But verse tracker literally just gives you the name of the person, a picture, a brief description of what their name is, where they're from, and their current catalogue of battles that are on Verse Tracker. Not their full catalogue. You've got to pay to be on Verse Tracker, but it's like LinkedIn for battle rappers, I suppose. And the thing of him saying like, oh yeah, whatever, like chatting to a girl and he gives them a verse. That's, yeah. I approve. Very good, Kick. Very funny.
So I don't believe anything he claims about birds. Just because he's still young enough to get grounded doesn't mean he's down to earth. Because I fuck women and grow tomatoes. So I know if you saw a flex. Because I fuck women and...
So this is what I'm saying, right? It got a reaction. It got a reaction. Are they laughing with him or laughing at him, though? And again, I'm not saying that should or shouldn't be important. I'm just arguing that if we're saying reactions general is a good thing, okay, cool. I would also argue that the context and the direction of the reactions are also as important. I fuck women and grow tomatoes. Like, I don't even know where to begin in unpacking that statement. And this is an episode that includes I'll de-pip your apple. That's the only line that can compete with anything Pedro said in this episode for obscure madness. Just, wait, what?
grow tomatoes. So I know if you saw a prosy, bro would beg and drool. Because I know how a hoe could easily cultivate a vegetable. I kill him, then tend to my plants like I'm Leon the professional. Because how the fuck do you expect him to score bitches when he runs the 100 meters in like 4 minutes? Seriously, I bet a tortoise would dust him. This little short and plump kid built like a horny dumpling. 12 years old, his nan's probably like 40-something. At your age, you should be in your physical prime, but you look like you cause an avalanche at a clip and climb. Gives himself a great tit wank, though, online. Gives himself a great tit wank, though, online. See, there's slags in the area. Ends up with more jelly on his chest than Patrick Vieira. Don't try and flip it, mate, like, oh, Nick says that, so my dick is great. No, it's just something you could easily facilitate when them shits hang lower than Gibbs' chain. Fuck you, DubTee. Time.
Let's go.
And again, got the bigger reaction of the two, granted. But how much of that was... I gave this round to Kick when I watched it first time. Again, man, I think judging battles individually and I can see the argument. Like, again, it's the thing of, he out playgrounded Dub there. Like, he was getting laughs about the fuck women and grow tomatoes line, and he's getting laughs out of just little silly things, right? But again, like, the verse track alone was genuinely funny. I just think this is one of those battles where I think stylistically, I don't know what Dub has done to elicit, again, 3-0, Bobby. Like, I just can't get on board with that. I'm sorry. And also, by the way, so someone like Soul Khan judged this and gave it 2-1. So I'm given to understand that Soul Khan is fairly... I haven't seen a Soul Khan battle. I'll just be brutally honest with you. I haven't seen the battle with him and Bobby. I haven't seen... I'm sure there's another one that was over in the UK recently too. I want to say it was on the Liverpool card that Strode did with O'Shea and with some others I'm forgetting. But like, he's supposed to be... I want to say he's like a really good writer. Like, the stuff in that didn't seem like it was written all that technically. It was, and again, like, I guess what I'm saying is, if the battlers are going to judge, I feel like that's useful from a technical perspective, i.e. this would have been hard to write and or come up with. This is original. This is particularly impressive for this reason. If we're just saying it got a reaction, I know that. I've got fucking eyes and ears. I don't need a battler to judge that for me. Like, I'll decide if the reaction is enough to sway me to agreeing with that reaction. Like, I can be in a crowd and everyone else is laughing and I can go, well, it didn't land with me. I thought it was all right. I feel like, again, the judging of these, it becomes quite a back and forth endeavor, and that's fine because, again, it's comments, it's discourse, it's all the rest of it. But yeah, man, I just feel like that round was a lot closer than I gave it to Kick, but I don't know. Like, he opened with his girlfriend or last girlfriend died of asphyxiation. I get it, because Dub is overweight. But the way he delivered it was so dry. Like, I think I prefer Kick when he does the things that people don't like, I think. That's why I think this performance is... I don't agree with it, because I gave this 2-1 to Dub in the end. And I thought this was the battle of the episode, to be honest with you. I thought it was much more competitive than the judges gave it in the end and how people were commenting on it. But yeah, man. Anyways, let's get on to the third round of Dub. Otherwise,
so he spoke about Patrick Vieira.
He did. He did. Oh, Dub. No. Oh, dude. I've just... Okay. He said, don't flip it. And you've risen... Okay. Right. To undermine everything I've just said. Okay. This is an example of Dub being too fucking clever for his own good. I think you should have just gotten on with your round, brother. Like, I think I'm telling you, don't do it, and then you go, fuck you, I'm gonna do it anyway. I don't remember what he's about to say, but if there is one thing I would criticize about Dub, is that he can attempt to be too clever for his... He's very clever. He's very good at what he does. But he could stand to be just a little... He could stand to let some things go. That I would fully concede the point of. He doesn't know how to let shit go, and perhaps should. Okay, don't rebuttal this. You've got more jelly on your chest than Patrick Vieira. Okay, go on then.
He straight got dispersed. Kick trying to act retro, but I'll put his name on a shirt. I mean...
Okay, all right. So it was cool, because again, in the Feel Weird Studios, they've got football shirts of 1,000 different players, teams, all the rest of it, although no Arsenal stuff. I see you, Feel Weird Studios. I see the bias. But just get on with your round, man. Like, it might have popped a couple of people in the room, but like, get on with your round up.
It's like every battle he turns up and he tries to lose.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't enough words in the English language to adequately describe my dislike for you. He turns up to every...
See, that felt... I don't know if he meant this. That felt Luna-ish. Luna had this way of over-accentuating and emphasizing words to get to longer words to go petty. So, you should try to utilize the rest of your house. And he had a cadence and a way of being able to cut through the noise of a room by elevating and dropping his vocabulary in a way that hooked people in. And that just was very reminiscent of that. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it took a long time to get to the point he was making there. 10 seconds. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Turns up and he tries to lose. There ain't enough words in the English language to adequately describe my dislike for you. He turns up to every event and just talks about his missus. That's just his insecurity shining through. Bro, I don't care if you want to tie the knot. You should have tied a noose. I smacked the shit out of him. Plus the rest of the nitties that Nick sniffs powder with. So far, this tournament's been shit for me. I've had to stand through 6 rounds of it. Made me forget why I entered. Oh yeah, I came to get a kick out of it. Kick's counterfeit. I came to get a kick out of it. Kick's...
So that's the third round in a row. A name flip using Kick. But again, like, I don't see the harm in it, because it's not a whole round of them. It's just a one-off, and he's utilized that as a bullet point for the rest of what he was saying. Like, I think it's fine. I really do.
Counterfeit. How's he a builder when none of his work's cemented? I got blood from Glasgow. Give him a new smile without a Turkish dentist. Why do I bother being direct
That was
for?
vicious.
He ain't worth a mention. I work relentless. 30 you nick like a murder sentence. Why are you trying to act like some pillar of the community that's trying to build high? Your biggest battle, you paid for. No wonder this feels dry. But then you downplay the newcomers. You know that he will try. But these men know me from who I killed. They know you from who you paid to be killed by. Time.
So I know we've got to see Kick's third. And again, I'm not a battler. I'm not technical. I'm not writing or Kick Nelly is good and did elevate his levels and it was improved. But there's no fucking way he won this battle, lads. I'm sorry. Who judged it? Show me. Sol Khan, Maverick. Maverick actually gave it to DubTee. Me and Maverick are on the same page. But Bobby and Sol Khan, you are infinitely more talented, clever, better battlers than me with all the battle rap knowledge in the world. But you're both wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. Sorry. That does mean I have to find Bobby in a car park now because, as he once said very famously, sometimes you just got to settle it in a car park. And my God, am I not ready for that altercation. I'm going to get thrown into the next fucking... Like, there's no realm of reality I'm going to land in. Like, I'm just going to be like that meme of when Bobby uppercuts me out of the car park into wherever it is because I'm willing to die on this hill, lads. Dub won this battle. I'm sorry, but he just did. Anyways, Kick does have a round to go, I suppose. Go on. Let's hear it.
I think you're too young for this. I mean, fuck it, I probably am too. And I feel like I'm your uncle. If I hung around with a girl your age, I'd probably end up in trouble. Rap's like he's Vincent Vega, but he's more like the boy in the bubble. So how can you tell me fuck all? Because this is not the image I envision when I think about struggle. You Gen Z pussy. Fuck your safe spaces, 15-second reels and fanny packs. You don't know what it's like being an adult, man, and that's a fact. Never had to pick between paying bills or having scran, or knowing you're one redundancy away from becoming Danny Jack.
That's mean.
You've never been rickrolled. Watch Channel U.
For me, right, that's the right. That's what when he made some guys in the room laugh, which is fine if we're talking about reactions, but that took him 35 seconds. You want to give this round to him? 35 seconds and he said one thing so far. Like, lads, I'm sorry. I don't know what battle you're watching. I'm sorry to get so animated about this. But I picked up for a variety of reasons, not the least of which because I really do think he is such a good prospect. And I worry so much about the criticism he gets laid at his doorstep and decisions like this that make him question his entire approach when there's nothing wrong with it. I don't get it.
You've never been rickrolled. Watch Channel U or had the privilege of paying 10p.
No, because he wasn't born when we were. What? I don't get it. He's young. Okay, bars. What?
For a Fredo
I don't get
Smith.
it.
And that's why it's going to be kick over dub like a techno beat. I mean, what the fuck can you tell me? You've never had to steal dinners or bump tickets for meals when your parents have always been your meal ticket? Bro, every problem in life, I've had to deal with it. So it's not the weight discrepancy I'm on about when I say you and me are built different. I mean, how the fuck can I respect bro? 19 years old, pushing 20 stone. In life, we both bite off more than we can chew, but I will never choke. Time.
And another point, I just want to raise this. Since we're trying to be consistent here. How many times did Kick go back to the fat stuff? In every fucking round. I don't see anyone talking about that. And yet, Dub uses the kickflip stuff in all 3 rounds. That's enough to lose him the battle? Even though it was good? Oh, I'm sorry, lads. That's undoubtedly someone telling me to just calm. Oh, so How Do Shrooms really does think. Right. Sorry. I'm sorry. No. I'm not having this as a criticism. The idea of... Okay. Right. If you order a meal and there's too many good bits in it, do you complain? No, there's too many of these bits in it. Are they good? Well, yeah, but there's too many of them. What? Kick went back to the fat stuff in every single round, and I would argue not one of them was really that good. The only 3 moments in that battle where Kick surpassed Dub were the reactions to 3 relatively obscure things that didn't fit within the rest of the schemes. I fuck women and grow tomatoes. What is it? You've never been rickrolled. And verse tracker. That's it. I'm sorry if you all are screaming at your screens right now that Lorne, you were wrong and all the rest of it. Okay, fine. This is just where, okay, I have been very careful about choosing which hills to die on. This is one of them though, lads. Dub won this. And I'm fucking not having it. I'm not. And the fact that none of you fuckers will come on and debate me speaks fucking volumes. Dub won that one. I'm happy to let Kick have one of the rounds because in my mind, he did get reactions. He did have moments where he exceeded and surpassed Dub. He got all his stuff out and he did meet the expectations of the judges. That deserves to be acknowledged and rewarded. Totally understand all of those things. Of course, DubTee. DubTee never fucking watches my streams. But what do I see here? Tell him from a DubTee, you fucking bastard. Oh my god. Oh, dearie me. Yeah, I don't think that helps, Dub. I think that's helping my case. Oh, God. That's so funny. I'm sorry. That's really funny. Okay, right. Let me swap, because that's all the battles done. So I'm going to swap to my main screen now. I know, older. I haven't designed a main screen with all the orange shit yet. So, let's recap. Right. If we're just judging this differently, you and I watching this, okay, I understand that. I don't care how often someone goes to a well. It's whether or not they come back with anything out of it, lads. The fucking saying is, you shouldn't go to the well too many times. Do you know why that's a saying? It's so if you go too many times, it runs dry. You go back with a pail that's got nothing in it. That's the analogy. If Dub keeps going to the well and keeps coming back with something to show for it, that's not a problem. The fact is that he was still doing good stuff throughout the course of the battle. If you want to compare and contrast that to his actual opponent, who was doing something very similar with no response at all, but you're going to award him the battle over Dub because Dub didn't get reactions to the same tune at one point in each round, and that's how you're going to award it for one reaction in 60 seconds that was obscure and made no sense to the rest of the scheme of the battle. Think about what you're incentivizing. That's my point, is we're talking about this through the prism of every one of these battles is being judged with the consistency of the previous battles. Now you can't fucking see me. Now it's too low. There you go. That's a bit better. Is it? No, it's still not fucking good. Fucking camera. I'm cutting a promo, so I better be in the center of the shot for this. Otherwise I'm going to look weird. You're going to be there. Don't fucking do it. Fucking thing. Fuck. Right, what? Is this How the Shrooms picking on me? It is How the Shrooms. Okay, How the Shrooms, I will at least respect the fact that you are commenting in so much as you're okay, right. How the Shrooms says 2-1 to Kick, clear. Was not his best, too many flips. Every round, and it is 60 seconds rounds, is too much. Nah, you're wrong. Dub was not at his best. Didn't say he was at his best. Didn't say he was at his best. Was he better than Kick? Yeah. I liked Kick's performance. Made me laugh a couple of times. Got a reaction out of Enigma at the beginning as well, but not for the reasons he probably would have wanted. Was he better than DubTee though? Were the rounds better composed? Were the rounds better executed? Were they as technically articulate? Did they go in as many different directions? Did they pay off with punches that landed as consistently? No! I can understand awarding a round. That's fine. I've got no problems in judging battles over the course of all 3 rounds and say, well, look, he didn't get steamrolled. So I can award him a round that was closer on the basis that he deserves a round awarding. I can get on board with that trail of thought. But 3-0 and 2-1? What were the 2 rounds that you want to tell me that Dub was so comprehensively beaten? Because there's not one in there. I'm sorry. I'm prepared to give one of the rounds to... I'm prepared to give the second round to Kick because I think the verse tracker line and the reaction he got from the I Fuck Women and Grow Tomatoes, fine. And I even liked the tack onto that. That was the best written bit because of the thing that then didn't get a reaction, which is I tend to plants like Leon the Professional. That's a cool line. But no one fucking reacted to it in the room. And that's my point, is I don't see the logic in the judging of that one to Kick. I'm sorry, I just can't. It's probably the first decision that I feel is controversial enough to get on my horse and go, right, lads, you're wrong on this one. You're just wrong. And I'm arguing with seasoned professionals, I know, but I'll still argue with you because it's my fucking prerogative when I watched all of the battles so far and I'm being told we need to be consistent with our judging and when guys do this, they need to do this. Okay. If we're now saying that we're limiting guys to just, right, if you do something, you can only do it in 1 round, and you better condense your round in it if you want to do that, that's stifling creativity to its fucking nth degree, and I don't like that. I don't like it. I'm not having it. Right, sorry. Fucking camera, man. Fucking thing. Is that better? Can I fucking just get on with the show now? Please, I'm begging you. No, it's worse. Fuck it. Who cares? You can get a good look at my chest. My fucking fat. No, I'm sorry. I'm not happy with it. Fuck's sake. This must be fun. Look, you're getting a fucking more than interactive experience out of me today. You're getting an interactive experience. You're seeing my entire visage. Is that gonna fucking fall? Isn't it? It's moving. It's still moving. It's still moving. Fucking thing. It's probably for the best anyway. I'd have been ranting for half an hour about it otherwise. Howdy Shrooms, by the way, I appreciate you voicing your dissent. And this is part of this is why I'm frustrated. I opened the Zoom call because it was, I think James Britton, I think that's his name, saying like, you should have a fan forum. I would, dude, but no one ever fucking comes on. No one wants to talk publicly about their opinions on battle rap. They're worried about being shouted down, and that really frustrates me. The first thing that Briggz was saying at every intro to the first 4 episodes of Premier Battles, don't be scared. We want to hear what your opinion is. And yeah, I can't get anyone to come on and talk to me. Madness. I got to cut a 20-minute promo. Ah, fuck it. Leave it like that then. At least you can see me now. I'm sorry. I can't. The professional in me. There. Perfect. Perfect. Don't move. Right. Is Hadashroom still arguing with me? God. Okay, fair enough. All right, Hadashrooms, you made your point. You disagree with me, and we'll move on, shall we? Okay, I've ranted enough. If you disagree with me, by the way, that's why I would have wanted to have people on, because me ranting at a camera isn't good. I want conversation. I want discussion. I want dissent to be aired so it can be a conversation and a little bit more productive than me just yelling, you're all wrong, because that's not helpful. You know what I mean? It doesn't, if anything, antagonizes people, and I'm not trying to. But I'm saying that since I've got no one to talk to, dub 1, deal with it. Right. So, what else did I want to talk about? Where are my notes? We've been going for nearly fucking 2 hours. Jesus. All right. We'll keep this brief then. So, yeah, one of the things that I wanted to mention is utilization of the veterans. I would have liked to have seen what they did with Pedro explored a little bit more with some of the other guys. I think there's a lot of guys on the shelf at the moment that they could do something with, and I'd want to see it. I get that the tournament is supposed to be showcasing the new guys, but that doesn't mean that on a nearly 2-hour show that they can't find space for exhibitions, ciphers, projects that they're working on, interviews with them that are pre-produced, whatever it is, just to get battle rap fans that are maybe more indentured invested in the tournament, because there are a few that mentioned to me that they haven't seen it, and that's disappointing, and I can't make them watch it. But something that might make them watch is, hey, so-and-so is going to feature. They may not be on the whole show, but they're going to feature on it at some point. You should tune in if you want to see them. I think Prem should explore that if they haven't already. The switch to a different setting and some of the styling choices I really loved in this episode. I thought the fact that they've now moved it to the Feel Weird Studios is a boon for them. It just adds to their production and slickens everything up in a way that I really love. I also love the interview segment with Deburke. The fact that they've put that stylized square on that. I would have loved to have seen more touches like that during the show in general. So if they can find a way to do that to make the show feel a little bit more unique and a little bit more purposeful, fucking brilliant. I like the inclusion of the stuff that they pulled from the Patreon. And again, I would like to see more skits involving the battlers in the tournament, though, just to give them a bit more flesh on the bones, because I think one of the things that people are still struggling with is getting invested in the battlers outside of the battles and the characters and their stories and things like that. I'd want to see more of that on the actual broadcast rather than on social media afterwards. Because you have to remember, dude, what you're trying to do is make it easy for the audience. One-stop shop. This is where we come to when we want to watch battle rap. Saying to someone, well, it's on social media. If you want to watch it, go find it. That sounds like work to me. And as an audience member who's having my attention competed for by fucking everything on the planet, it's not a good sell. You need to put it on there and make it easy for me to digest. And that's about it, really. Those are all the notes I had from today as far as excellent stuff. The only other thing I wanted to talk about, and this is all hindsight now, the dropouts. Hearing Briggz talk about all of the people that have dropped out of the tournament or weren't there for the recording was fucking heartbreaking, dude. Heartbreaking. And for the guys that persevered, you have my undying respect, man. The fact that you continue to persevere even in the face of, I get some of the guys had excuses of some sort, or they had whatever, man. I get it. But at the same time, it diminishes the overall in a way that I find unfair. And yeah, I just wanted to say, like, I feel so bad for Prem for having to try and navigate and contend with that, because it'd be like the FA Cup. It's like, well, Arsenal haven't turned up, so Crystal Palace go through. Like, I get Crystal Palace are happy because they get the win, but the wider audience are like, yeah, but we're kind of expecting a game of football here. Are we not getting one? Nah, one of them didn't turn up. What do you mean he didn't turn up? I get it. I understand it to a certain degree. There's a filming schedule. They can't move it around. They can't shift it and change it. But on this episode in particular, it was just so fucking heartbreaking to hear the number of them and how many groups it's affecting now. So I guess the question that it poses going forwards, because I think it was on the stream I was on, actually. It was the question of season 2, quote unquote. If I'm in an elevator with Prem's executives right now, I know it's Briggz, Stro, and a few others. But if I'm in there with the executives, my 30-second pitch is, if you do a season 2 of Where Winning Matters, it's more episodic, but not built around a tournament. It's just you book these things in advance, and then you have a table. You just have a table over the course of 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever it is, and you just play it seasonally. Maybe a season a quarter, or a season every 6 months, and then it starts again. Because that way, I mean, docking points, it still has... if someone doesn't show up, docking points still has a real effect, but you can choose to broadcast certain matches to be able to make up the episodes, and then if you have a dropout, you could potentially then schedule something else to fill in the void of the time. It would just help mitigate the filming schedule, because I know that the filming schedule is a big part of why they're having to adhere to the dropouts rather than film around it or pitch other ideas. But I think if this is something that they're serious about doing again, with the idea of having pre-recorded, formatted content to be able to sell to a broadcaster, I think what they should maybe look at is just accepting the fact that the guys battling do have proclivities that would exclude them from... I mean, like you said, Slester's touring with his band, so couldn't be there. I think one of them was ill. 2 of them had already dropped out in advance and hadn't been replaced. So there's all sorts of things. But the bottom line is, though, that we didn't get battles. And that some of the battlers are now not going to have opportunities to be able to battle, which diminishes their ability to be able to get over. And I think whatever can be done to mitigate that is something they should look into immediately and as seriously as possible, because it's something that hopefully as the tournament progresses becomes less and less, granted, because the guys have a more vested interest in winning. They're closer to winning. But it's something you'd want to just eliminate from the jump going forwards. I'd be happy to have a wider conversation about that with someone if they ever want to come on and hash that out. But yeah, as far as the episode itself goes, I thought it was a definite improvement over episode 4. I think it flowed better. I think it had more in it that was easier to resonate with. I thought the battles were better. I thought the performances were better. I think everyone elevated their game from their first showings as well, with the exception in the eyes of many people of DubTee. I disagree. I thought his levels were broadly the same. The production was better and slicker. I liked the addition of Bizzo. It felt like those studio segments were more energetic. They were almost competing at times to get a word in, and that's only a good thing. You don't want guys going, yeah, it was all right. You want guys trying to add extra layers to the conversation. I liked that. I enjoyed it. Thought the editing was a bit slicker as well. Some of the new the minor things. I think, again, just by moving to a new studio means that the sound editing, for instance, can be a lot slicker and easier. And next week, you've got Red Wolf versus Crow. Red Wolf attempted to bounce back from the same criticisms that seem to have held back DubTee on this one, which is going back to the world too many times. Can he have a more diverse performance in the eyes of the judges? We'll see. Crow, I think, had a fairly safe performance first time round. Can he elevate his level, give us something a little bit to work with here in this one, but still maintain those consistent levels of performance? Beyond versus Yaneth. Beyond obviously reeling off the back of a very contentious first round against 7 Wave. Can he elevate his levels and deliver a clean performance, but also give us something to work with there? Yaneth we haven't seen yet, so this is his first outing in this tournament. So what sort of table is he setting out, and how does he mean to begin in this tournament? And then Pagan versus B Ramble, probably the battle that it, for me at least, has most intrigue, because Pagan is a heavy favourite for me in this tournament. And B Ramble is someone that's a bit of a wild card, but has, I think, all the makings of a really entertaining battler. Whether or not she could put together a winning streak, though, that remains in question, because does her style translate to the kind of direct, killer instinct that I know Pagan can tap into remains to be seen. But that's a good card, man. I'm looking forward to next week's episode on Sunday. The other thing I'm thinking of doing, since there's only 2 of you watching, only 2 of you will be aware of this. Instead of doing these kinds of things on a whim going forwards, what I might be liable to do is I might react live to Prem while it's airing. That way I think I'm offering something a bit more unique in so much as you're actually getting my reaction to it live rather than what this is, which is I've had time to pick over the... If he's watching, I shouldn't disclose this, so I'm not going to. I just got a message. Cheeky sod. What was I going to say? I'd be curious. Would people prefer that? Would you prefer a live reaction, like an actual factual reaction, i.e. this is the first time I'm seeing it, this is the first time I'm seeing, hearing, thinking, feeling, everything. You're going to get it as honest as possible. Are you going to enjoy that more? Or would you prefer that I do this, which is I've had a couple of days to marinate on it. I've had a couple of days to really pick to the bone of what I want to say and say it, even though it's taken me 2 hours to say. What do you want to see? Like, again, I want to generate the kinds of things that people want. I want the numbers to be trending upwards, not because I'm just after numbers, but I want to have some indication that the stuff I'm making is actually what you want to see. So if it would be better for me to react live to something rather than after the fact, let me know. I can set that up. We can do that. We will get some interviews as well. Bobby said he'll be on the show. A few of the guys have said that they'll be on the show. I just need to pencil in dates. And long form content, I've had some ideas for that for some time. It's just I need to sit down, write, film, edit, upload, all that good jazz. So maybe we'll look into doing something like that too. In the interim period, I think that's everything I wanted to say, to be honest. So I think I'll wrap there. Thanks for none of you leaving a comment, except for Dub, obviously, you fucker. And Hadashrooms, I should say Hadashrooms. Hadashrooms has been messaging me throughout. I appreciate you chiming in, Hadashrooms. I know I was ripping into your opinion, but I'd rather have a conversation and a debate rather than just me yelling at the screen for an hour. Good episode from Prem. I'm enjoying the fact that not only are they showing consistency and they are sticking to their promises of uploading regularly, following up with content, posting regularly, all that good jazz, but that they are upping their game week to week and getting better week to week in their presentation. It's only a good thing as a platform for the guys on it, and it's still that same thing. The guys on it need to use it to the maximum of their ability to hone and really pull as much value out of it as is possible. It's on you to do it. Don't fucking let me down. Anyways, my name's Lauren Wisely, host of the Halcyon Show. Like, share, and subscribe. Go and check out some of my other videos. Go and check out the wrap-up I did with Crash and Kick Nelly on Monday. Stay tuned. Sunday, 8 p.m. for episode 6 of Premier Battles Where Winning Matters, featuring Red Wolf versus Crow, Beyond versus Yanith, and Pagan versus B Ramble. Me and Crash will be back on the Monday with a slightly altered format. You'll see what I mean when we do the... I'll explain on the day. Thanks to Dub for tuning in and saying hello. Thanks to Hadashrooms for commenting. Thanks to none of the rest of you for leaving a comment. But yeah, appreciate you tuning in if you did. And yeah, I'll see you on the next episode. Depending on when that is, of course, whether or not it's on Sunday or then just with me and Crash on Monday. I'll see you on the next episode of the Halcyon Show.